Oh, hi you guys, and welcome to our next stream of the day with Keeper Lauren. We'll be playing some Call of Cthulhu. It's going to be the second time I've ever played Call of Cthulhu. So that's pretty exciting, right? I'm pretty excited. Yeah, this is going to be good fun. If you guys want to check out all of my stuff, here are my social links. Discord, where you can get live updates of when I'm going live. We also have a really friendly family community in there. It's really friendly family feel. They're really inclusive, kind. It's great. Hey, chatting over your Titan, Jeanette Briggs, Ozzy, how you guys? Yeah, get in the Discord. It's great. Twitter, if you want a game, fire me a DM on Twitter. I'll get you in a game. Simple as. Easy claps. And YouTube is where everything will be uploaded. Might be a little bit of delay on that one this week because I'm filling all of my time with streaming, but I will get there. Robert 300, welcome. Catless Creations, you guys. Yeah, and I also have a Patreon. If you guys fancy supporting me from as little as $1, there's the link for that there. There's some special stuff we're working on in the background. Kiana's helping me work on that. And there's lots of new content coming. We also have merch, and the merch looks a lot like this, where you can get stuff with my logo on, much like that. Like, this is a notepad that I'm going to use for probably campaigns and stuff. Oh, there's a little folder card at the back. I wonder why. Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah. So that's me. That's me, you guys. Let's go and get today's players. You guys are live, I think.
Oh, hello.
Hello. You were so quiet, all of you, that I was just like, are you live? Oh,
We're
hi.
all plotting against you, Scott.
Yeah.
That seems normal.
Yeah, it's like that awkward moment when the person you're talking about walks into the room and you just go, oh.
Do you know what? I live for that though. Like, as a British guy, I love an awkward silence. I could stand in an elevator all day just for the awkward silences that you as you go up and down. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's go around, you guys, and introduce. Just a brief introduction. The player we're going to play, Lauren. Would you prefer to introduce the scene first, or would you like to do that last?
Let's do that last. Let's just go around and meet everybody first.
Okay, cool.
Looks like we got a new friend.
So hi, I'm Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger over on Twitter. Play games around the internet with lots of people that you've seen on this channel. Just wonderful people. Today is my birthday, which is exciting.
Yay, happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you guys. And it's my first time running Call of Cthulhu. It's one of my favorite systems. So I'm really excited to take a little baby step in driving friends insane, because it's what I've always wanted to do.
It's a top goal, I think. And today we welcome to the channel Eric Vulgaris. Welcome, Eric.
Oh, thank you, Scarticus. Hi, everybody. I'm Eric. Eric Vulgaris. He, they pronouns. I'm playing Randy, who's a Seattle street punk coming up and trying to come up in the world, and met someone who might have an opportunity for them. It means they have to go across the country, and we'll see. If you don't know anything about me, I play a lot of role-playing games. I also work for Roll20 as an analyst. So that's cool. I love games. I played over like 150 systems now in like 2 years. I'm into the weird stuff, and I surprisingly have not played Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. So I'm super excited, and I'm ready to go.
You were being cursed in the last stream because Johnny Deep is renowned for always rolling well, and he was on form today, so they were cursing you.
Can't prove anything.
Next, we welcome Natalie Bliss. Welcome.
Hello. I'm Natalie Bliss on Twitter. Also, you can find me as Dark Aardvark in places, also on Twitter, and Project Alpha. Over on there was one of the Vastronauts back in the day. And I've been gaming for about 20 years or so, a little over. Started with D&D and really getting into it, Now I'm trying to develop some stuff for tabletop games, some videos and some stuff to help with immersion and that sort of stuff. All inclusivity and accessibility, a high priority.
Yeah, awesome. That's a long time in the industry as well. You must have seen a lot of changes.
Well, that's as a hobbyist mostly.
Okay.
Only recently trying to do the professional sort of.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Still. And last but most certainly not least, we welcome back Renee.
Hi, I am Renee. I am at Radian R on Twitter. I also play a lot of RPGs, but I'm mostly newer at them. I started off playing D&D, and it wasn't really before I started podcasting that I started getting into a bunch of other RPGs. So, like in the past week, I have just played Kingdom for the first time, and today is the first time playing Call of Cthulhu. So, woo! I may have some questions, but it's going to be amazing, and I'm really excited for it. I'm the DM for Fate and the Fable Maidens podcast, and that's a D&D actual play. And I think that's my stuff. Do we do characters?
Yeah, I completely forgot. So both Natalie and Rennie, let's hear about your characters.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. I'm playing Dr. Beatrice Carnegie. Not related to that Carnegie family, but hers is just as impressive if you ask her. I might try to do a mid-Atlantic accent, but I might just do the regular voice. I don't know yet. We'll see.
And I'm playing Scarlett, who is a stage actress, and you know, she's trying to make it big. She hasn't yet, so she's been finding ways to kind of immerse and explore other opportunities, and hope that she improves her own skill.
Fantastic. Today I will be playing Cecile Katie Adams. She is a young engineer and fiercely protective of her status as an engineer, whilst also being a woman, because there are not many of them. That's a real life problem. But yeah, I've just literally realized when you said about doing a mid-Atlantic accent that I need to figure out how to convert. Yeah, I'll work out an accent in the next 5 minutes. It'll be fine. So with that, we hand back to Lauren.
All right. Totally always prepared for everything. Great. So we're going to start in a small apartment complex in the city of Arkham, Massachusetts. The year is 1920. Outside of this building is a young man. Randy, what do you look like?
Randy is a tall, gaunt man. Basically, either like pretty like tanned complexion, even though Seattle doesn't get too much sun. And just kind of scarred and rough. Like his hands are always calloused and hard, weathered, like he's been exposed to the elements for a little bit too much on him. So while he has a sort of like frail demeanor to him, there's a sort of sense of like rigidity as well, and like hard spirit that just won't go away.
Nice. The building you are in front of is an address you were given by your friend Gabriella. And inside, you can hear raised voices. It sounds like a man and a woman. What do you do?
Okay. Real quick, did you describe the house? Did I miss that?
This is an apartment complex.
Oh, just okay.
Yeah, this isn't the house proper that you've heard about.
Got it.
This is an address that Gabriella gave you to gain access to the house.
Got it. So yeah, so we're in an apartment complex, what, in somewhere like downtown Arkham or so?
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure. Yeah, so I pull up, I put my trench coat a little bit tighter because it's raining, and I go up and I go inside and go and I hear the sounds from the apartment complex. What do I hear? I'm going to try to eavesdrop a little bit.
Yeah, great.
Drop some eaves here.
Why don't you make me a listen check?
Sure, no problem. Any factors or anything to the test, or is it just a regular old listen?
No, just the regular, and you'll based on what you roll, see how much information you glean.
All right, cool. So then I just roll a D100 and then compare that to less than, right?
Yes, you want equal to or less than.
Got it.
Learning games to get. Oh my God, that's an extreme
success
for anyone.
What do my elven ears hear?
Yeah. Well, Randy's used to having to stay farther away and being able to listen from a distance. It's a big part of what he does in Seattle. Basically, you hear two male voices one kind of craggly, one a deeper, maybe with a slight southern accent, actually. And it seems that they are talking about the arrivals mostly. The southern voice seems very calm in its cadence, trying to calm the other man down. The craggly voice seems strained. They're talking about the arrivals. You do hear the phrase, the Corbett house, which you know is what Gabriella told you about.
Cool. And can I divine from the context if the arrivals is a someone or something based on like how there's whatever they're saying?
It
Or
sounds
is it
like
they?
it sounds, with the extreme success, I'll say, just from the amount that you can hear, it sounds like they're talking about a group.
Right. They say like they at one point,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
And that's what, okay. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So while you're waiting out there,
Smoking a cigarette or something.
yeah, looking super cash. Who shall we have
Don't smoke, kids.
Nobody's. Let's have Scarlet arrive. Scarlet, please describe yourself.
All right, Scarlet is fairly pale. She dresses like she has much more money than she does. Her makeup is on fleek and her hair is pulled back. And she tries to put on an air of sophistication, even though she's really not that sophisticated.
Beautiful. When you walk up, are you trying to hide?
That's a juxtaposition.
Right?
That's a real juxtaposition to Randy, who looks like a raggedy ass raccoon.
Yeah.
And if it's raining, I think I kind of like run in trying to like keep my hair dry, you know, with just like maybe a coat or something. I have kind of
Sidewalk is really slick, so just for fun to get you rolling, how about you make me a dex check?
Okay, yes, I will try and do that. Where is dex? Is that higher up?
Yeah, it's one of your main stats. So all you have to do in the roll 20 is just roll a d100 and compare it.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Real quick, I want quick interjection.
Yeah.
Is this the type of place where I look out of place, or that Scarlet looks out of place, or is it kind of
we both kind of look out of place? She
okay.
looks more out of place than you do. It is not a posh apartment complex.
Yeah. Okay.
With that fail, as you are scrambling up towards the stairs, you kind of lose your footing and slam kind of right back into Randy, who's standing there smoking a cigarette. Just
oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. How clumsy of me. Trying to, dust off my clothes and like pulling back away a little bit.
Yeah, I would probably know better than to make like try to help you or anything. I've been like, oh, are you okay? You look a little I'm not sure. So I kind of like look over, finish my cigarette, put it out, and step over, put out my hand and say, "Name's Randy."
I think I kind of raise an eyebrow and say, I make a great many people unsure, but I do take his hand and kind of very, I just yeah, a little bit. And shake it and then draw back and try and like, fix my hair, make sure it's not too wet, and try to compose myself after almost completely wiping out across the stairs of the apartment complex.
Beautiful.
So, besides me, I don't think anyone saw that as I try to like diffuse the situation and your tension a little bit.
Well, that is a relief. I hope you won't think too poorly of me.
No problem.
Scarlet, by the way.
Scarlet, cigarette?
Oh, I would be delighted.
So the two of you are sheltered under an awning, smoking a cigarette, And yes, it would be great if nobody saw Scarlett's near clumsy slip, but someone did, and her name is Cecile.
Yes, I did. I don't know. She was walking along, so Cecile will be walking along, I guess, the pavement as well. She doesn't really care about the rain. Her hair looks greasy. It's tied back in a functional knot. She's wearing like a set of overalls. She's got a flannel shirt on underneath that's rolled up to the sleeves. The overalls are covered in oil, like just not just like oil as though it's been splashed on, but also oil as though her hands have been wiped on it several times. And if you looked at her hands, you can see that black muck that is like ingrained into the skin and around the nails, as she's clearly walking back from somewhere. She's been working.
Working girl.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, you see these two standing close together, huddled under an awning, smoking cigarettes.
I guess if this is her complex, she'd probably try and join them, try and pass by them. She's absolutely soaked. She's just been walking.
Yeah, so if you head up, there are several bells, and one says Mr. Knott.
Hi, Mr. Knott.
You hear very distantly in the apartment. Let's see who. Eric, can you make me another listen check?
Yeah, I think I can. I didn't. I wish I had my listen written in here. Stand by 1 second, so it looks better on screen. Is it the green or the white one you're supposed to hit?
The green. The
Green
white one will
skill.
just show you like everything in the world.
Fail.
No.
Okay. Great. That's all. So with the bell going off, you hear a bit of shuffling as footsteps come closer to the door, and a very craggly looking man with a bulbous red nose, a cap pulled low. He's kind of hunched. This guy maybe is in his 60s, but looks like he's had a hard life. And as he opens the door, he immediately wraps Cecile into a hug.
Yeah, it's just sort of like hugging back. She's like, be careful, there's oil. Oh no.
That's fine. You can't ruin these overalls any more than they already are. Oh, you. He kind of points at Scarlett and kind of looks curiously at Randy. You hear about the ad?
Yes.
Great. Good. You just standing out here. I don't recognize you.
No, I'm just here at the request of someone.
Who?
A friend of mine. She goes by Gabriella.
He seems a bit taken aback and surprised, but then he nods to himself and he opens the door to let you all in as another car pulls up. Most of you were walking or cabbing a little bit away, but this person arrives in a car. And Beatrice, why don't you describe yourself?
Well, she's frizzy-haired and disheveled. Her makeup looks like she's skilled at applying it, but also that she should have freshened it up about an hour ago. And she's either looking through her one of her many notebooks that she has in a big oversized bag, or she's rifling through the bag looking for a notebook to look through for information on the night to refresh herself.
Perfect. As this woman steps out, the craggled man that is obviously Mr. Knott kind of holds up a hand and gives a nod of acknowledgement toward Beatrice, waits for her to catch up with the group, and then beckons all of you inside, kind of stooped over, hunched. He seems a little... there's some kind of look between he and Beatrice that you all can kind of pick up on. If you wanted to get more information on it, you can make a psychology check. But it definitely seems like they know each other, and it's not kind of in the easy way that Cecile does.
I'll do one for the lols.
Right. They just seem to know each other. So someone got psychology.
I did. Yay.
Cool.
Also, just quickly, thank you very much to Kiana, who donates Nat 20 to you, Lauren, so you now have 2. Encounter Josh, who, as Stream Boss, gifts his Nat 20 to Eric, so you also now have 2. And also, thank you to, I believe it was Ozzy. Let me just double check.
Yeah, it was Ozzy.
Ozzy, who is using his Patreon Nat 20 to gift it to Dr. Beatrice. So.
Okay, so that's fine. Gloves off. Okay, I see how it is. I'm kidding. Okay, so yes, Mr. Knott beckons all of you inside. With that psychology check. Yes, that's what we were doing. I knew that.
Sorry,
I asked for it.
Sorry, I completely interrupted.
I knew what was up. I remember. So there seems to be kind of it's not unfriendly. It's just subordinate and kind of resenting it, but it's not aggressive in any way. That's what Scarlett can pick up from that. You would know, I mean, as an actress, maybe something that one of your games that, I mean, we played it in acting school, is like a card game where the higher card is like higher in the hierarchy than the lower card, and you would interact, and you would think that Beatrice is definitely a few card places above Mr. Knott.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking of it. So yes, you may all go inside. Mr. Knott will kind of hook Cecile's arm and bring her in. And yes, he'll lead you down the hallway, not very far, to an apartment. This apartment is really dingy. On the front of it, it says landlord. It looks very, very Spartan, and there's alcohol bottles out. There's another man in here, a tall, handsome man in kind of a long black jacket and a wide-brimmed hat, with a white collar at his throat. And he is sitting in one of the chairs, and when you all enter, he stands up and greets you. Hello, everyone. It is mighty fine of you all to be here. I am the Pastor Michael Thomas. And he goes around and shakes all the hands, starting with the ladies. And he, as he shakes Scarlett's hand, he shakes Cecile's, and he kisses Beatrice's.
Sorry about the mess.
Wow, all this gold for me?
Oh, it's fine. Your uncle, is it? Mr. Knott is your uncle. I think he told me about you. He has a picture of you. That is mighty sweet.
That is correct, yes, sir.
Well, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine.
And he resumes his seat. Mr. Knott gestures for all of you to make yourself comfortable. He kind of does it just like with his arms more than anything, and he goes over and pours himself another drink. Yeah, it looks like it's his stuff.
Thank you to Encounter Josh, who donates another for everyone else who doesn't already have a Nat 20 to have a Nat 20.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Scarlet does not sit and is kind of holding her her dress and her coat away from like any furniture and stuff. And
Smart.
I think while she's kind of accustomed to this environment, she's already gotten ready for the day and she's more concerned about how it will affect her appearance than the fact that the apartment is a mess.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. All right. As everybody kind of settles, Mr. Knott kind of keeps cocking his head at Randy, who seems really confused by in general. And he says, well, thank you all for coming. My name is Mr. Knott, as you know from the ad and from knowing me and from what I just said. What we are meeting about is the Corbett House. And he looks at Beatrice again. This here is Dr. Beatrice Carnegie, the owner, which he says through gritted teeth.
Yes. It is a pleasure to make everybody's acquaintance. And no, I'm not for that Carnegie family, but we are nonetheless quite impressive ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
it's,
what of this house, Doctor?
Am I missing something? Because I don't.
No. He is. The only thing you know is what he's told you. He's kind of the one with all the knowledge. All you know is what you received in the mail, which we discussed, but I can remind you about. And when you approached him to talk about it the first time, he told you of some of the problems there. But he is ready. He takes another swig of his drink, and he is ready to give you the spiel about the Corbett House in full detail this time.
Oh, good.
So.
Please, Mr. Knott is the one with the information here. If you'd be so kind as to share it with the group, he's much more succinct than I can be.
Oh, I see.
All right. Yeah, he likes that. Okay, so here's the gist. 2 years ago, there's a family that lived in the house, in the Corbett house. They were the Macarios. And he, again, looks at Randy. Well, things got a little messy, you could say. That was back in 1918. And I haven't been able to rent this house for more than a few days since then. Dr. Carnegie here just inherited the place. And she has asked me if I could figure out what that's about. Not that I haven't been doing that for the past 2 years, but it's difficult with this place, you understand?
What
So-
kind of occurrences are there?
And what do you want us to do about it?
Well, Cecile, I'm hoping you'll go over there or do some research or both and take a look, try to figure out what it is. I can tell you what happened with the Macarios. I haven't been the landlord of this place very long. I inherited it. Well, not inherited it. Looks at Beatrice. Took over the keeping of the place, you could say. But what happened with the Macarios was pretty grisly. They moved in 2 years ago. the father, Vittorio is his name, had an accident. Afterwards, he kind of went crazy. Got very into the religious aspects. Started babbling, apparently. Then,
hang on a minute, Mr. Knott. Hang on a minute. Are you telling us that he stubbed his toe and then he went crazy? What are you trying to say here?
That is no. That would not drive someone.
What do you mean he had an accident? I mean,
a really bad stub. He looks distracted and kind of swishes the whiskey around.
I mean, what happened to him?
Gabriella wouldn't tell me. But he got hurt. He started babbling about some kind of figure, burning eyes, other things. And then Gabriella got spooked. Again, is weirded out by Randy. And she sent the kids away, took Vittorio over to the Roxbury Sanitarium to recuperate, and he is still there.
I see. What would you like of us?
Well,
Just no offense, because in this company, we don't really seem like the type to be pest control. So what seems to really be the problem here?
Well, there have always been stories about strange things in the Corbett house. So what I'm hoping is that you can kind of dispel any rumors. My theory is that people just like telling stories about a creepy old house. I mean, it could use some repairs. Looks kind of spooky, I guess.
Oh, you mean you want me to repair it, Uncle? I mean, I can go repair it. I don't have to look into all this hocus pocus.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could fix it up. I'm sure Dr. Carnegie would appreciate that eventually.
I would indeed. I think the issue more is there's something in this house, whether it's supernatural or perhaps even just the dilapidated state of it, that is causing people psychological difficulties, and that's worth investigating. It could be any number of things that mundane science could put to rest, and I think it's worth finding that.
What a smart lady you are, from the pastor. He gives you a big winning grin.
Okay, well, as long as it's got levers or motors, I can fix it for you.
Excellent.
I won't fix it, but I'm happy to look into it.
All manner of expertise are required for this. It'd be foolish to just stay with one. I have quite the depth of knowledge myself on a few topics, but need often rely on experts in other fields for my work, and this should be no different here.
And as I take another drag from a cigarette, and I go, and what about pay? Because certainly we're not doing this out of the kindness of our hearts, are we?
Well, no, but there is something to be said for experience, enriching one's soul, and increasing their intellect and knowledge as the reward for a day's hard work. But certainly,
there is also something to be said.
I roll my eyes. I'm no stranger to being swindled by people with the promises of work. Savvy. I want some cash up front if I'm going to do this.
Your time is certainly valuable, and we can agree to some terms, I believe, as to a retainer for your services.
Mr. Knott nods at you, Beatrice, and he pulls out, let's see, how many? He was not expecting Randy, it seems. So he pulls out a couple of bills. Let's see. He considers, kind of licks his hands and says, Dr. Carnegie and I have discussed this a bit, but I think with the new edition, we could probably $25 a person, which is real
Good.
nice.
That's real good.
That's real good. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I think Scarlett is trying to kind of like hide how pleased she is with that. Because maybe she could buy a new dress or something, and that's thrilling. So she kind of she pulls it back together really quickly and nods as if that will just only be enough.
Yeah.
The pastor, Michael Thomas, says, that seems like a very generous offer. Nods it, Mr. Nods it, Dr. Carnegie. Well, Mr. Knott, if you are all set, I may be on my way soon. Mr. Knott just kind of nods at him. And the pastor approaches Dr. Carnegie. What do you think will be all of y'all's approach to this? You gonna just go straight to the house?
Well, I do believe there's some value in talking to somebody who lived the experience. So we might first start off going to the asylum. Not a joyous place to go, but one I am not a stranger to or afraid of.
I mean, I'm not going to be much use to you, Doctor, but I can drive you.
A handy person behind the wheel is always good, especially if the blasted thing breaks down, as they tend to do. So that would be lovely. And again, I do not know whose skills you might very well prove to be the most important person on our quest today. That remains to be seen. So appreciate the humility, but it is not needed.
No, very much appreciated. Donovan donates 500 bits to make things bad for the investigators, like real bad, but at the worst possible time.
Great.
Can't wait. Thank you.
Great. Wonderful. Alrighty. So, Pastor Michael Thomas kind of nods and leaves the apartment. What are the rest of you doing? Do you want to talk to Mr. Not more? He can give you kind of some suggestions, of course, provide you with all of the information. He does tell you that he will give you the $25 when you return.
I would request $5 of it up front.
Oh, would you? How are you requesting this? How are you going about this? Are you trying to charm him or persuade him?
I would say probably trying to charm. She, you know, she's trying to smooth talk in a way. You understand, we are taking a bit of a risk not knowing what we're walking into. It would be nice to have reassurance that this will be waiting when we return, so having some sort of show of faith would be much appreciated.
Great. Make me a charm check.
Okay.
Yeah. How charming.
Oh, shoot.
You want to use 11 luck?
No, I don't really want to.
Okay. I mean, like, you can though. Like, if you want, you can.
I think on this, no, but
Okay.
yeah.
So Mr. Knott kind of looks you up and down, and again, from earlier, he seems to have a problem with his place in, society. So he just, having seen you and like you're a little better dressed than everybody else, he's like, I could maybe, just as a sign of good faith, like you said, and he hands over $1.
She kind of, but smiles politely and pockets it and says, "We'll do our best, I suppose."
Uncle Nut, is it okay if I borrow your shower before we go?
Yeah, you probably should if you're gonna be seen in public. I mean, I don't much care, but
I just knocked off work, you know?
yeah, she might care. Points at both of them. It's hard to tell which other lady he's pointing to. He's kind of like a little wobbly, like he's been drinking all day.
Is that normal for my uncle?
Drinking is normal. He seems drunker than usual.
Yeah, just having a bad day, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go and run off and try and take a shower. It's going to be one of them showers though, like, I mean, how long it takes depends. She's going to be quite functional about it, but, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen a mechanic's hands. It doesn't matter how much they wash. They're always black. So she'll get off most of the grime. She's clean, but she doesn't necessarily look it.
Cool. While Cecile is in the shower, are the rest of you doing anything? Mr. Knott doesn't seem to be paying too much attention to any of you.
Beatrice is just going through her notebooks. One in particular, whatever the current one she is on now, and just making additional notes of what additional information she's gotten, and just jotting down quick little things about the group that she's noticed.
Why don't you make just make me a general intelligence check? Great. I'm sure that's a success. You're a doctor. You're a doctor.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it's just a regular success.
Great. So as you're jotting things down, kind of looking at them and thinking about other places that might have information, you come up with a couple of ideas. There's, of course, the Boston Globe. You probably have a friend or two there that you could talk to. They'd have clips if you wanted to see if there were any reportings about the Macarios or anything else. There's, of course, always the library. If there were any crimes of any kind, there might be something down at the courthouse or the Hall of Records. So you have a couple of ideas of places you could start your research as you're sitting here. Scarlett and Randy?
So I would love to. Who was super drunk again? Was there relation?
Mr. Knott, who seems to be Cecile's uncle.
Yeah. Okay, Cecile's uncle. Yeah. I'm probably more related, or at least I feel more in line with maybe the drunk, and I would love to go talk to them a little bit.
Yeah.
And most notably, I would love to try to get an idea of like what they're kind of musing about, why they're so drunk, or are they literally just in a stupor? I would love to try to charm them and try to discern whether or not what's off, either about them or like just in general, like around this place, of what here or is not really what it's what here's a facade, what here is hiding something that's really it shouldn't be.
Yeah, great. Yeah, why don't you just make me a charm roll and then you can role play out your level of
totally.
Yeah, your level of success.
Right. So I imagine I probably start by just so what this looks like. It's like I probably sit down next to them and pour myself a glass and start like go around sipping and stuff like that. Like, this is some good stuff. And that I'm gonna burn some luck on that because I have to succeed on this.
Okay,
So.
Great. So what does that bring you down to?
I was at 45, and so I'm gonna deduct that down. I need to deduct 11 from it, so I'm down to a 34.
Okay, cool. Mr. Knott he seems just more comfortable in general with you than anybody else besides, excepting his niece.
Sure.
It seems like you guys are on the same level, and he kind of tops your drink up and kind of nods at you. Do you have any questions for him?
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of just more listening to him about the drinks and stuff, and I want to hear what he has to say. about it, and then maybe just I'm sure there's something like caught in his mind that he's chewing on or digesting,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of trying to get at that. I want
Yeah.
to know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what's on your mind, old man?
Yeah. As you're approaching, he seems to be muttering bastard a lot. He's kind of shaking his head and like he spits in the sink at one point.
Sorry.
He says, well, I was just thinking about the Macario family. They were nice people.
Well, it seems like they had a little bit of a rough patch.
Still
No?
going through it. They're like I said, they're over at the sanitarium. Gabriella was only there for a little while, but Vittorio's been there, and she visits him sometimes.
Oh, they should be fortunate. Where I'm from, we couldn't afford a sanitarium. Anything for helping them out, so it could be worse.
Roll me another charm roll real quick.
Oh yeah, sure. What's happening? That's the charm thing that's going on right now. Just whether or not they want to open up to me.
Yeah, even more. Something
Sure.
about what you just said has kind of triggered something for him, and he's considering whether or not to.
Oh yeah, sure, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hard.
Nice. Okay. So you see his breath kind of catch when you mention not being able to afford the sanitarium, and he says, well, the pastor was nice enough to pay their way.
Oh.
He's always been local. He's a good man.
Do you smoke?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
and
do. Cecile's trying to get me to quit.
I light a cigarette and I look at Lucille. I should do a little shrug. And any reason why this priest is taking a favor for them?
He's just the local. He's always been here. He's kind of our neighborhood preacher man.
Yeah. Good old savior of the downtrodden. Real saint. I say as in like, is this person really actually that or not? To this person, like, yeah, but what do you really think is what I'm trying to push here?
He takes a big swig of his drink and he says, I've never been much for the religious types is all, but he did help them.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
All right. Cool. All right. I feel like I'm taking up too much time, so I'm gonna
no,
someone else.
It's great. Scarlett, what have you been up to?
I went over to try and talk with Beatrice, since she mentioned her family was notable, but I have no idea why. So I tried to spark up some small talk, and you say your family is renowned. Do you mind if I ask what for?
Oh, yes, for a variety of things. Not sort of philanthropy on the level of the other Carnegie family, obviously, but we do have quite a few professionals. I myself am not the first doctor in the family, and that is in multiple disciplines, both in medicine and the mind, and a little bit of archaeology. It's all tied together in my mind, and yes, so just as impressive. Other means, it depends on criteria you define things sometimes. I'm sorry, terribly. And what do you do?
Oh, well, I act, or am working to act, and I understand money is not everything. And in fact, skill and talent play such a great part in success. I understand where you're coming from, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Quite true. Pleasure to meet you. I've often find actors are more up on psychology than the average person. So it's figuring motives and whatnot. So it's lovely to make your acquaintance and have you on the team.
I find people and their motivations fascinating. I think that it benefits me to know uh, human reactions, and that's one of the reasons I've been trying to take some different jobs to try and broaden my horizons, my experiences. I think maybe it will make me better for it.
Experience is the spice of life, and I agree with your theorem and found it true in practice for myself, and hope it is the same for you.
I agree. I think that she kind of continues the conversation, like here and there, trying not to interrupt Beatrice too much since she's, making notes. But she definitely had gotten bored of just standing there and trying not to touch things. So,
Great. Since you are doing that, Scarlet, why don't you make me a listen check?
okay. Oops.
The rain is kind of picking up outside. The wind is hitting harder. That's all. So, Cecile, as you are finishing up in the shower and dressed, Mr. Knott kind of pulls himself away a bit from Randy and goes up to you in the next room as you're finishing putting on your street clothes, basically.
Yeah, just tied up my hair. I've just got a pair of jeans and like a plain shirt. It could be a man's shirt. It's difficult to tell.
Cool. He kind of takes you by the arm and says, if that place, it's bad news, honey. And if it starts to go bad, just get on out of there, all right? I mean, find what you can. It would be. He kind of looks off distantly. Find what you can with these people. Try to see it through, but watch out for yourself.
Well, now, hang on a minute, Uncle. What are you trying to tell me? What do you think's gonna happen in this place?
It's a bad place, Cecile.
I mean, how bad can it be?
Just listen to what the doc says. I think she was mumbling something about research. Just do your due diligence, but take care of yourself.
Oh, Uncle, we talked about this. You know I only believe in a couple of things, and one of them is a spanner, okay?
Okay. He nods, trying to look sage.
All this hocus pocus you worry about, it's old news, Pops.
I hope so. Do you know what haunting means, Cecile?
It's a made-up word.
No, it's not, Cecile. It's a place where animals feed.
Huh? I thought it was like when the poltergeist or extraplanar visitor comes to...
Okay, it's that too. It's all the things. I'm trying to impart wisdom on you.
Okay, now,
An
Uncle...
uncle's job.
I know it is, Uncle, but I think... Do you know what I think? I think today maybe that bottle's been a little heavier than most days, huh? Huh? Why don't I just take you through, I'll tell you what, we'll go and check everything out, we'll be fine, and, I'll just help you go and settle down. Why don't you take a little nap, maybe sleep this off a little bit,
This is a good idea.
Yeah. You overdid a little bit today, huh?
Yeah, I did, you're right.
Come on.
Okay, and you take him, get him settled, like, in the armchair with, like, the blanket over him, and, yeah.
So I'll just come back through to the next room and be like, Sorry about my uncle. He overdid it a little bit today. But hey, I'm still willing to drive, and I don't think he needs looking after or anything. We can go and check this stuff out.
That would be delightful. I have been thinking in this time also that maybe before the asylum we could get a little background on the place to better suss out what might be the ravings of somebody who's a little deranged to facts. And I propose that first we start off at the courthouse. It should be early enough for them to be open but not busy. And then perhaps the library after that, and then maybe the asylum. Just a good basis of research before, so we know the right questions and maybe what is the wrong questions to ask.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if you want me to, I don't mind driving you anywhere. I'm not back on shift until Monday, so.
Well, all right. I suppose the courthouse, unless there's objections or other ideas.
I would certainly prefer to stay outside the courthouse.
I'm sure the facade needs some help standing erect, so you could perhaps lean against it.
I mean, yeah, maybe I can get to know my pack of cigarettes better.
There you go. You find friends.
I have no objections.
Excellent.
I've just seen too many courthouses, if you know what I mean. I don't want to get kind of sick of them after a while.
It would be a shame for you to reach your fill stay. So yes.
Okay, so what we can do actually, do we want to all stay together as a group? Did you want to just go to the asylum by yourself, Randy?
No, I don't want to be like that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I'm totally going with the group.
Sure, that's fine.
I'll go with the group, but I'm sort of thinking that Cecile might stand outside with Randy.
Cool. Okay, so going to the courthouse. Let us see. There is a woman that Dr. Carnegie, named Vivian. She is kind of your classic 1920s vamp, but with red hair. It's like a red bob, and it's like really, really bright. And kind of a black pinstriped dress, very snug. And as you make your way over there, you see her. She gives you a little wave, little friendly wave. B, what are you doing here? Haven't seen you in forever. You never come out anymore.
Well, work does keep me quite busy, and it's lovely to see you again, Vivian. Good to see that you are still a wonderful oasis in the middle of bureaucracy.
You.
We're here looking for information on property I recently acquired. I'd like to know if there's any sort of history to the place. As I like to do research when presented with new things, and just try to find the most information I can on this new property, and if there's been any crimes of note or passion on the premises.
Well, I really shouldn't.
But there's a reason why you are such a bright star in the muck of bureaucracy, my dear. Maybe you could shine a little bright for me today.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That was Lauren talking. Let's see. Why don't you roll me a persuade? And you can actually, I'll give you a bonus of 20%. So if your score is 50, you can roll a 70 or lower.
Okay.
Because you know her. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. She kind of blushes and she looks like all around the area and kind of like gestures to both of you. And she kind of helps sneak you past some people into a basement area. And let's see. She's going to help you kind of dig up some things. What is the name of the property? Oh, I think you're muted. Oh, still muted. But it's okay because I know it's the Corbett house.
Corbett House.
There you
There
are.
we go.
Great. She kind of thinks for a second, and then her eyes get big, and she brings you down one of the long kind of filing areas. There was actually something, I remember something by that name, and she starts rifling through, and she's not exactly sure where, so both of you can make library use rolls to see what you can find in this. It's pretty messy and dank down here. It doesn't look like it's the best preserved place. And then if you want to as well, Scarlett.
I'm not as great at library use.
That's a success for Beatrice, though. So what you two are able to glean with Vivian's help are a couple of things. You find some records. It looks like there was some kind of case that some kind of suit that was started, and so there's a couple of pieces of evidence like filed. Some of it's pretty hard to read. It looks very old, some of this. Basically, what you find is some knowledge. In 1835, a merchant built the house, but he fell ill and he sold it to somebody named Mr. Walter Corbett. Years later, in 1852, the reason that they have these records and this evidence was that Walter Corbett was sued by his neighbors who wanted to petition to force him to leave the area in consequence of his serious habits and unauspicious demeanor. But Corbett won the lawsuit, which is all here. And the obituary, there's an obituary just kind of attached. It looks like maybe there was another suit, but someone would have to roll a law roll to kind of get all the details. It's very flowery. So if one of you wanted to attempt that, I don't know if anybody has the law skill.
I
Don't have the law
actually.
skill. Could the automatic D20 be of use here?
Yes, I would say yes, it could.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So, being here, it looks like there was another suit being waged to prevent Corbett from being buried on the property. But there's no outcome to it, which is odd. Oop, I think we lost you again.
Is there a case number or anything associated with it?
With this one, no. It seems like it was started and then like just petered out.
Okay. Does it list like the plaintiffs or anything? Or
It seems to be again like the neighbors. It seems to be like a joint. There's someone named, like there are a couple names on there. There's like what are they? There's like that's easy because it's just on my mind. There's like Ives O'Callahan, and there's one Dooley.
okay. I will make note of those and want to just simply look up in the phone book to see if there's any that's still.
Yeah, you can do that when you either Vivi will give you one or back outside. The last one, since you used that, there's also something drawn that seems a little strange, like a mark or something. Why don't you guys make me a spot hidden?
Ooh.
Like your perception. Okay.
Not great at things right now.
That's all right.
Like a butterfly floating around or something.
Yeah, I'm just looking at everything really. I
Mhm.
only came in here because I kind of think that Beatrice might be a good contact for the future if I
She
ever need
totally
more
would be.
research or
It's good that you like assume that you have a future.
at this point, yes, she very much assumes she
No,
has a future.
everything's fine. I know.
I
It's like
don't necessarily assume she has a future, but
it's
she
pretty
does.
chill.
Yeah.
Is that a success for you, Natalie?
What am I rolling that against?
Oh, that was spot hidden.
Oh, spot hidden.
You rolled a 37.
I think that was the previous roll, wasn't it?
Yes, that's a success.
Great.
Thank you
Okay.
for succeeding at things.
So the mark on this lawsuit where it like kind of has the outcome is like it actually looks like a symbol more than anything. Let me see if Lauren is good at drawing. She is not. So she will use her beautiful words. I'll try and I'm old school. So it looks like kind of three Y's kind of joined together in a triangle, which is not what I drew, with an I in the center. And that's all that's on there. No outcome, no case number. That's it. I can't hear you. It's doing it again. Might be a loose connection. But think about it. I'm gonna actually cut outside because this is a good time to cut outside too. Randy and Cecile, what have you been up to?
We've been debating the finer points of life, and Cecile, what are you trying to convince me of that is the coolest thing about technology?
Well, I mean, it can do anything. Like anything. Like I'd almost be like, well, look, you tell me one thing that technology can't do better than a person.
Can techno? Man, why are you putting me on the spot like that? Because it's so difficult. Because I just haven't. I don't know. It just seems weird that technology is supposed to be our savior and help everybody, but here I am having to work weird jobs and having to go clean out some weird ghost bugs or something, whatever they're looking up in the courthouse.
Yeah, it's probably just like some kind of frets in the circuit boards there or something. I don't know, but
well, what do you think? Do you think technology is going to one day fix this for us?
Yeah. Why
Well, then
not?
what are people like me going to do? People who don't know technology,
Well,
people who don't have an education like you.
What do you want to do?
What am I going to do?
What do you want to do? What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do? Do you want to go and sit on a yacht? Why don't you go sit on a yacht? We'll get all the technology to do all the work.
Well, can I afford a yacht at that point?
Why not?
I
Money
can't do
means
much.
nothing to a workless society.
Look, you have your mind. I have my hands, and if technology takes my hands, what am I to do?
Well, there's always grafting, right?
Yeah.
Huh, Mister? I don't like to see too many courthouses.
Look, that's not my fault.
Uh-huh.
You never been to Seattle, have you?
No, I never left New York.
Yeah, never left. Well, you should broaden your horizons.
You never left New York.
Seattle
You're
is
in
a
Arca.
Yeah, I came down here for work only. It's the first trip.
Oh.
I know American geography.
I know you do.
Seattle is a shithole. It is the most corrupt city in America, and I'm saying that after being in New York. All right. Look, it's not my fault cops pick me up. I have one of those faces. Look, my life's been harder than yours. All right, cut me some slack.
Harder than mine. Harder than mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, and I totally understand how rude that is. And so I was just so yeah.
So you're probably like
yeah,
gonna put like a
he's
full
selfish.
finger on the
I know,
chest
he's
and be like,
selfish. Yeah.
"Now listen here, Mr. Man. Okay, I had to study past all them. Do you know how you say you gotta struggle to get work? Do you know how hard it is for a girl to get work in engineering?
As you like poke him in the chest, you do see kind of a beat cop kind of turning the corner, Randy, and he seems to note both of you. Narrows his eyes more at you, even though you're getting poked.
Right.
And at this point, I think you two can make me spot hiddens.
All right. I'm gonna burn a natural 20 on it. As I
Oh damn.
Yeah, as I straighten up and look around, being like, yes, ma'am, as I like totally concede your point as the cop shows up, because like I cannot have this like look of an angry woman in front of, you know what I mean? Like that's just not a good look, and I know where this is gonna go, and that means I'm gonna be in a courthouse again,
Yes.
sleeping behind bars, and I don't want to do that.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
totally,
Yes, ma'am. What? You just think you're gonna concede the point and avoid the argument?
absolutely, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I am folding like a house of cards, ma'am. That is absolutely right. As I'm like straightening myself up, dusting myself off. I don't need
Cop
to.
like twirls his what are those called? Baton. That's
Batons.
the
Yeah.
Oh, haha! I'm always
Peacekeepers. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Twirls it and keeps
Union
kinda,
busters.
Yeah. Keeps going on his route, and as you were looking and like kind of keeping an eye on him, being wary as you are, a black car drives pretty slowly, seems to be like slowing down in front of the courthouse and then taking off. And because you used a crit, I'll answer this for you. There is no license plate, but there is a symbol on it. And it looks something like 3 Ys at touch with an I in the middle of it.
So basically, Corella DeVille's car with a weird symbol on it.
Yes.
All right, cool.
And the glass is dark. You do not see who's driving it, though.
Right. Okay,
Just,
I'll make a note of that.
It just seems odd that it like slowed down, didn't stop, and then kept going, kind of creeping along.
Right.
All right. The ladies finish up inside, and you can all reunite outside of the courthouse.
Yeah, I would have liked to have just copied that mark.
Yep, you got it.
All right.
It's interesting. This happens also to Randy. Scarlett, are you at all interested in like the thing that she's jotting down?
I think so, because I didn't glean anything from this trip. So since my purpose was kind of trying to connect with Beatrice further, I am kind of asking her questions and prompting some of her discoveries to see if she'll share them with me.
Mm-hmm. So as you all are looking, you've all seen this. I need all 3 of you then to make sanity checks. Cecile, you don't have to because you didn't see it.
So I need to?
Yep.
Oh.
Sanity check.
Cool.
Oh, that's a bad fail.
Here we go.
Bad roll.
That's where it begins. Oh, nice. Never mind.
Nice. That is fortunate. And yes, you too, Scarlett. Da, 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 da. Did you roll one, Scarlett?
Yes, yeah.
Where is it? Oh, I see. Oh, you did great. Fantastic.
Yes. It's the first time I've done great, and I'm very thrilled.
Yes. Okay.
We're gonna role-playing games.
Yeah, why not? Oh, no, I'm terrible. So Natalie, you lose. Dr. Beatrice loses 3 points of sanity, and I'll tell you what's up. So just subtract that from your current sanity. So as you have all seen this, it's very it's very brief for Randy and Scarlet, but it's almost like you get a little headache and kind of have to like shake it off. Vivi kind of sees this and offers you some water, Scarlet, while y'all are still inside. Natalie, Dr. Beatrice, you feel like it's a full-on migraine, like one of the worst. It feels like right in the center of your forehead, and you're not sure. At first, it seems like maybe it's just the lights in here are really dim, and so you've been having a hard time reading. You're not sure if you're dehydrated or what it is, but when you are like focusing and drawing this symbol, yeah, you just feel this piercing pain in the center of your head.
I would have been very receptive to Scarlett's questions and stuff before, but once
Mhm.
the headache kicks in, I start getting a little, just a touch shorter and
Mhm.
obviously
Yeah.
dealing with it.
Okay. So, all of you can meet up outside, and where do you want to go next?
First, I'd like to show the symbol around and see if anybody, the people that weren't in there with us, to see if they recognize it.
Oh, cool. Cecile can make a sanity check then. You look excited, Scrat.
I'm excited. I want to see what.
Excitement.
Technology will save you, Scrat. Don't worry.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so you also lose 3 points of sanity.
Not the best.
I mean, that's fine, right? That's normal.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
We've got lots of sanity at this point. This is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the same thing kind of happens to you. You feel like this headache as you stare at this symbol. And it stays for a while. It kind of slowly starts to fade for both of you. You're out in the sunlight. When you're not focused on it, it doesn't seem so bad. Okay.
I'm not so sure about that symbol. I don't know.
It is quite odd. True, I've never seen anything like it that I can recall. And unfortunately, none of you have. Although, perhaps fortunately, I don't know. To the library.
Is that some sort of schematic? Kind of like.
Oh, I hadn't
squinting through the pain.
Yeah.
I hadn't considered it. Here, you take the book and look at it for a bit and see if you can suss that out. I wouldn't know a schematic from doodles, I guess.
Can I try and see if it's describing something? If it's like checking out some sort of machine? I've got a technical drawing skill.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Cool. Sweet. Okay. This is odd because it kind of just looks like a drawing, or even like as simple as, well, not simple, but like a hieroglyphic. But there something about it. It is even her copy of it, because Vivi wouldn't have let you take the actual stuff with you, but even her copy of it, something about it reminds you of geometry. Like, it's so precise. There's something about it, something that seems mathematical in the angles of the drawing.
I can't make out what it's trying to describe, but it's definitely some sort of mathematical thing. It's describing something to us.
Very insightful, my dear, and that's why a perfect illustration of why I said that don't feel like you won't be of any use. That is
yeah, but
much more.
I've got a headache though trying to think about that, I guess.
It's given me a headache as well. I guess drink some water and head on to the library, unless anybody has
aspirin.
We could stop at a dime store for something. Yes, that'd be lovely. My treat.
Aspirin on me. Okay. Just to kind of move, kind of expedite things. What are you looking for in the library?
I guess if I could try to find anything now that I have the symbol,
Mhm.
and I'll try to do it as much from memory without referencing it as I can.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool. You can make me a library use roll. We're looking for a hard or extreme for this.
all right.
Is that one? I feel like you have a good library use roll. Yeah, that's literally a heart. Damn, ask and you shall receive. So it takes you a while. It's getting toward evening, folks, and that Mr. Knott wanted this done as soon as possible, like preferably by the next day. So it's getting late, but Dr. Beatrice, as you guys are kind of looking through things, you do manage to find a reference with the symbol to something called the Church of Contemplation.
I would share that with the group, assuming everybody's in here with me. Has anybody heard of the Church of Contemplation? It's not a branch I'm familiar with.
Have I heard of it at all?
You
Or no?
guys could make me anybody could make me a history check, or if you guys have something that you think would be more appropriate, then let me know. Ooh, damn, Scarlet, damn. You know what's funny? One of my characters has a 50 in history, and it can never roll. Never.
I have 1/10 of that.
Oh.
All right.
I
wow.
failed.
Okay. So we've got Scarlet. There is kind of you managed to sift through some things, and you recall this church or chapel. You're not quite sure if it's at first if it's a place or an organization, but Scarlet is like, no, that's a place. I remember hearing about this just being in Arkham, like stories of like drunk people at clubs, kind of things. So you recall that it is a place, and it does seem to be associated with this symbol.
So would I know where the place is, or is it just kind of...
You do not know where the place is.
Right. Okay. So I think I'll share what information I know, and kind of try and maybe I heard it from some fellow actors who were trying to make it or something, and I just kind of heard tell of it, but didn't know where it was or any more specifics beyond that.
Yeah. Something that you would remember is that the reason that it comes up, and like you said, hearing fellow actors talk about it, is there was some kind of secret raid on this place at some point. You remember like rumors, and this was a long time ago, kind of like passed down, like one of the kind of neighborhood old ghost stories, where in which there were, the reason that the raid happened is because children were disappearing, and the neighborhood thought that something was going on with this chapel. During the raid, the chapel.
Lauren, you're freezing up a bit.
Yeah, you're going robot on us for a second. Fix it, Cecile, with your technology.
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay.
Did we lose her?
Possible. Oh.
Oh no.
That sounds like the sounds of coming back there. There we
Am I
go.
back?
You're back.
Yay.
Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
No problem. Did you repolarize the
So,
transinducers?
Yep.
Got it. Yeah, it's always it.
I reversed the polarity. So during the raid, I think I got this out. There were 3 policemen and 17 members of the chapel who were killed. You don't remember anything specific. What is that? You did hear that like a ton of people were arrested, but lots were released. But there was never anything printed about it. It's just kind of one of those stories.
Right. Totally something actors would be into, though. Those tall tales.
Totally. There was one person, one member of the chapel, who was kept for 40 years. Like that was the only one who was like really brought to justice.
Mm-hmm. So I share all that with the group and kind of I tell it like I heard it, you know, with kind of eerie performance to go along with it. And once I finish up, I kind of shrug and say, "That's all I know."
No, again, that is quite a lot to know, and more than we had before. So thank you very much for sharing that. And yes, I think it is getting rather late. I'd hate to skip the asylum, but perhaps we should press on to the house. We have a bit of information. Anybody have an opinion on this? Perhaps.
I don't mind where we go. I mean, didn't you want to speak to the old owner, the one who had the accident?
Yes, he's the one at the asylum, I believe, isn't it? And referencing her notes real quick.
Oh right. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the house. I got the house and the asylum confused for a second. Yeah, no, sure, we can go to the asylum.
Oh. Yeah, let's we'll try to work quickly.
Yeah, I'll probably try and do a little bit of speeding in this Model T Ford. I'm gonna go up to the ground speed of 25 miles per hour.
Sure. Just don't get us arrested. Or detained. That would slow us down.
Yeah, the whole thing's shaking at this point. 25 miles per hour.
Yeah, you guys can zip over there. It is sunset. And they will allow you guys, I mean, it's towards the tail end of visiting hours, but they will allow you up, kind of bring you through the hallways. There are just, most of the doors are shut, but you guys can still hear screams through the entire place. Nobody seems to be actively doing anything. There aren't orderlies like shoving people around when you first get in, but as you get deeper, some of the places that you see there are. And there's a smell of like sickly sweetness here. And just from being in an old school sanatorium, I need you all to make sanity checks.
This place is horrible. Truly horrible.
Very, very.
Can you burn luck on a sanity check or no?
No, you may not.
Yeah, it makes sense. Just figured as much.
I need to start doing better on this then.
So everyone who failed takes 2 loss. Yeah, these are not pleasant places. But the woman, very stern, strong woman with her blonde hair pulled back into a tight bun, escorts you to a room near the back. She opens the door and just kind of very silently and stoically gestures for all of you to go inside. What you see inside is a man kind of in a straitjacket, kind of caramel skin, dark hair that's really greasy. His eyes look absolutely crazed, and he is like trying to use his face to flip pages of a book. And there is a woman younger than he is. This man looks like he's in his 50s. This woman looks like she's closer to Randy's age. Long black hair, kind of brown yellow eyes, and she's trying to help him, and she seems to be speaking Italian. to him, but you can hear the name Vittorio trying to soothe him. And as you all enter, she looks up surprised, but her eyes light on Randy. And she gets up and runs to him and kind of puts her arms around him. You came. I cannot believe you came. I was worried.
Oh, is she talking to Randy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
Oh, sorry.
yeah, no, I'm just kind of like taken aback, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm this is a sudden onset of affection and stuff, and so it immediately makes me like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like right, and I'm like, yeah, of course so like I have that sort of like defensive demeanor up, and so I'm like I don't like accept her hug or anything like that. It's like, yeah, no, of course I came.
She seems to
Yeah,
kind of like
we're
put
here.
her face back on. Like this was weird even for her. Like she wasn't necessarily an affectionate person, but she just
Totally.
seems exhausted and like her guard was totally down.
Yeah. Smoke?
Maybe not in here. I don't think the orderlies would be very happy with you. She kind of glares at the woman outside.
Oh. I put it out then. Okay. Yeah, can I what's going on here? I've heard some weird stuff.
Well, she looks at the three women in the room. Are these your friends? Your new posse?
Yeah, I audibly chort. No,
Awesome.
this one here is going, and I point to Cecil. I go, this one here is going to save everyone with technology. And these two here are real good with books and stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Do you know what?
Yes, you are looking at him. I see that. Okay, this is strange. Vittorio, and she gestures at my husband. He started asking for you recently. I've told him a bit, not too much. I know, not too much, about my life in Seattle. Maybe he heard your name there, but he kept asking for you, and he's just been raving ever since we left that house.
Yeah, ever since you left the corporate house.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, I've recently come into ownership of it myself, and I'm looking for more information on it. You say you were living there with him?
Yes, us and our two children. They are staying with some relatives now.
It is good that you have a family close enough by to do that for. And my condolences for how your husband finds himself. It is of a concern to mine for humanitarian reasons, and as the owner of the property to get down to the bottom of it.
You own that place.
I have recently come into possession of it. Yes, not through any real estate dealings I was attempting to make, but one that was foisted upon me by circumstance. I do apologize. We're running short on time. I've forced us all to be quite diligent in some research before getting to this point and spending time here. But does this symbol mean anything to you, or perhaps the words, the notion of a church of contemplation? And then
as you do that, Vittorio starts to scream bloody murder. He starts kind of rocking back and forth, and he seems to be saying something in Italian and then in another language, which I think some of you speak, not in English, maybe Latin.
Yes, I would pick up on the Latin.
Yeah. Just make me a Latin roll just to see. You know it, but being spoken is slightly different. that's a success for you.
Nice.
Languages.
Yeah, I recall that. I think you had like a 50 or something.
Yes, that's a 40, but
40. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Clutch. Or not. It could be nothing. So he seems to be saying it's very garbled and it sounds archaic, not just because it's in Latin, but because of the use of the words. He seems to be saying by his own weapon is the devil worsted. And then as he's repeating this, he slams his head into the book, which is now, you can apparently see, a Bible. And he keeps slamming it until you hear kind of a whistle, and the woman outside and 2 other orderlies come in and start strapping him to the bed. Gabriella is crying, and she just starts telling all of you to go, go, go.
I'll start nervously collecting and fumbling my things and apologizing for. I'm so very sorry. I didn't anticipate that's what I'm sorry, and then just sort of trailing off and making haste out.
Yeah, the woman is like she looks like she's a very strong woman, and she's about to start forcibly removing you guys.
Okay, yeah, I'll leave. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
Okay.
I'll start mumbling, probably first in the original Latin and then in English. By his own weapon, he kept saying by his own, as I'm assuming, being hustled out of the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
By his own weapon is the devil. Blasted, what was the destroyed?
Worsted.
By his own weapon, the devil is worsted. Is that familiar for anybody?
I'm not sure.
He was looking at a Bible. But it doesn't sound like any quote that you've ever heard.
Right.
Yeah, so you guys are ushered out of the sanatorium. Gabriella, after a while, you see her. She comes down the steps and follows you as you guys are just getting out, and she kind of she starts to kind of grip Randy's shoulder, and then she stops herself and tries to compose herself. Are you going to that house, Randy?
Oh yeah. Got paid to do a job. You know, Randy never backs down from a job. I know, and also apparently I refer to myself in third person.
Well, yes, it's one of your very charming aspects. Okay.
But don't worry, I'm not going alone.
Well, that's good at least. There's a bedroom upstairs where Vittorio had his accident, and there's also a basement, but we never really went in there. Vittorio, though, he locked it up. I don't have the key anymore, but I'm sure you can think of something to do. It's just also a place he seemed to be afraid of.
Well, the basement seems like a good place to start.
Say, can you tell us about his accident?
Yes, I don't mean to pry, and I understand it may be a sensitive subject, but it could gratefully help us in this.
He was upstairs in the bedroom, as I said. I was not with him. I heard him scream. I heard a thud. I came up and he looked like he had been beaten. He had a horrible bruise all along his the middle of his back.
What had
I'm
happened
so
to him?
sorry.
He did not say. But that place, like I said, the bedroom and the basement, he seemed to there seemed to be a what I would have once jokingly referred to as activity there.
Hmm.
Good luck. Take care of yourself, Randy.
Oh, I always do. Say Riley. Thank you. Seriously, I needed this.
She kind of cocks her head at you and then she goes back into the sanatorium. And we are now probably like getting deeper into the evening.
So are we heading to this place tonight?
I would like to. Yes, it is better to delve into this problem sooner rather than later, especially if it might be able to help the poor gentleman in the asylum.
Okay. When we
Agreed. And what fun to go to a spooky house in the evening.
The perfect time.
well, okay,
Okay.
I'll drive you guys there. I might take a little nap when we get there. I've been on shift all day. I'll just take a quick nap and then I can be at full faculties when I'm with you guys.
Whatever you need, my dear, that should be just fine. You at your top should prove to do us all some good.
All right. So, as you guys make your way to the old Corbett place, it's a brick building, really vibrant red, though, even though it's old. It's overshadowed by a bunch of taller, newer office buildings on either side. There seem to be overgrown plants everywhere. There's a front door. It's very sturdy, and it has like these kind of they don't look like antlers per se, but there are these kind of outcroppings on the front of them, large, wooden, heavy, like oak. All of the windows are boarded up.
Seems about right.
There is a lock, but Beatrice, you have the key.
Okay. I shall step up and start unlocking the door.
While Beatrice is doing that, do I see any signs of forced entry at any point around the place? Anything that looks out of place? Anything that looks like it would have been easy to go in? I'm a second story guy. I have an eye for those things.
Make a spot hidden.
Yeah, where does I didn't write it in, so I have to 25. Okay, cool. Fail.
Okay. The only thing, I mean, it seems like it's pretty tightly boarded up within the 2 years. You think maybe along the side there might be something, but it's on the second floor and it's pretty out of reach, and there's no way necessarily to scramble up.
Sure. Okay.
Great. So I think Beatrice said she was unlocking the door, and I will tell you what you all see before you. Basically, there is a long hallway with three doors on the left and two doors on the right. It is dank in here. The carpet almost seems wet. It smells mildewy even. The lights do seem to work if anybody wants to turn them on.
Sure.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
Why not?
I don't know if I can sleep while this place looks like this.
As you turn them on, the lights flicker for a moment and then finally seem to settle. But the storm outside has now gone full gusto. Thunder, lightning, the whole shebang.
Setting the mood for us, isn't it?
You could say that. I'm not the best of electrics, but I can go and take a look at some things.
Did you still need to nap, or?
I look at this place. I can't nap like this. There's so much work needs doing. I'm gonna have anxiety all night if I don't get started right away.
Fair. That's fair. I don't understand, but fair. I'll go kind of poking around the room, looking at if there's any like remaining furniture or anything still in the house.
It is a long hallway, but if you just kind of, as you're going, open the
Yeah.
doors, there is a staircase at the end of the hall that goes up. Poking through, you see there's a kind of a storage room with there's junk all around. There's an armoire in the back. There's just boxes and boxes full of stuff. And so that's the kind of first room you see. It seems like either the Macarios or maybe it's even older. I mean, some of this stuff looks really old. You can poke around there. Does anybody want to go to a different room?
Poking around there, does anything look like it's from like the mid 1800s?
Make a spot hidden or a history.
Okay.
Whilst you're looking for historical stuff, I'm going to be looking for fuse boxes and other sorts of, electrical equipment, anything. I don't know what these old houses have got, but anything to try and sort out these damn flickering lights.
Yeah. I don't think that's a success.
It's not-
Yeah. So spot hiddens or histories from anybody who's looking in this room. If you're looking in a different room,
Yeah, no, I would be. Nope, never mind.
cool. Oh, we got one. That armoire looks real nice, Scarlett. That looks like a fancy armoire.
Oh, I'm gonna check out that armoire.
Oh, girl,
French.
okay. It's super French, especially how I say it, armoire. Yeah.
Armoire.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Napoleonic, or even earlier.
Armoire. So yes, this you go over to the armoire. Are you opening it?
Yes.
Okay. It does seem to be very fine and elegant. But when you open it, inside you see 3 bound books. And
Okay.
you
I'll
see the initials WC on them.
WC. Corbett. I'll take the first volume out and kind of start flipping through it pretty quickly. I'm not really reading it, just kind of scanning through.
Okay. It's in English. It seems to be a diary of sorts, but some of these things that are written don't seem to make any sense. There seems to be notes on what you can piece together as like summoning. There's a reference to something called the opener of ways. Just like experiments. There seems to be like a list of names with ages in them next to them, and they all seem to be kid age. And I need you to make a sanity check.
Of course. Also, question: do I see anything about the Church of Contemplation in here?
You do see that
good.
symbol.
Oh, I do see the
You made an
symbol.
extreme. Damn, girl. Damn.
Something about the sanity checks.
That's good. Those are the ones that you
The
want.
right
I
game.
know. I was expecting to just be like losing it at this point with like what I knew about the game. So,
Yeah. Well, the good thing is I don't have to roll a die. The bad news is that you lose 1 anyway.
Okay.
With an extreme. There are some rolls like that. They suck. It's fun though for me because I'm cool. And by cool, I mean I'm not making the sanity checks. It's a nice change of pace. Okay, that's what you glean from these. It would take you days to work through it all, but like putting it together, you think you're starting to paint a picture of Walter Corbett.
I think I don't really show everyone, but I do tell them how weird all of this stuff is, and especially the ages of the kids and how that ties into the story earlier, and mention the symbol as well.
Yes, this is definitely tying together in disturbing ways. This is lining up with what we found at the courthouse. Disturbingly so.
Interesting that these are here.
there's more than one volume you found?
Yes, 3.
I'm gonna flip through. I'm looking for the last one in the last entry.
Okay, great. Make a sanity check.
Also, thank you very much to Nergabert, who uses his time-based currency to redeem an advantage for you, Lauren.
Oh, no. This is just getting better and better. Thank you, Nurgabert. Great. So, I'm sorry. So let's just do.
I don't believe it.
Ooh, that was a close one. You lose 4 points of sanity, but you don't have a temporary insanity. And because you failed the sanity check, you're looking. It makes sense to look where you are looking, but you kind of can't wrap your brain around what any of this is. It starts to really get more and more like shattered thoughts. You do see a lot of like the opener of ways. You see the symbol again, but you can't glean any more information because you just can't stomach sifting through this anymore.
This is. I think we have enough information out of here. It's very disturbing. And yes. Good find. Let's okay. And she'll just put it down and just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll follow after her and kind of check on her a little bit, make sure she's doing okay.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I need Randy and Beatrice to make power checks.
Sure. What's happening?
You start to hear your name, and I want to see whether you care or whether you are
whether you care.
Well, I would definitely care.
It's the power is kind of meant like will related, so
sure.
Yeah, that's kind of
right. So it was just more like, we thought we hear our names and stuff like that, and I'm able to beat that out of my mind and
right. You're not
and keep composure and focus. Totally.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
Cool.
Is that yours, Natalie?
Yes, and that's a success.
Whew, nice.
Yeah.
Beatrice and Natalie. Nope, Beatrice and Randy. I know things. You both in your ears, but it's like both ears at once, like right on the sides of your head. You begin to hear your names whispered. And the other two don't seem to notice anything. They don't. Both of your kind of ears prick up.
Yeah.
And you kind of look back towards the corner. It's almost like you can sense a direction, even though it has no direction. But since you both passed, that's all. It seems to be coming from the end of the hallway.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to keep muttering and kind of find myself headed that direction.
Yeah. I imagine we have a moment of like our eyes looking at each other, like, are you hearing the thing that you're like I'm hearing, kind of thing, right? And we both kind of do that. I think we both kind of intuitively go down the hallway.
Yeah.
Like together.
Cecile and Scarlett, are you going with them?
Yeah, since I was checking on Beatrice, I'm kind of like, I see this look and I'm a little confused, so I'll follow them.
I mean, I'm confused. Like, I want to try and fix this place. I don't really know what everyone else is doing. Like, I guess I'll follow along, but if I see something mechanical, I'm going to stop and work on it.
Yeah, cool. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. So you guys end up towards the back. There's an open door, actually. It's like more of just an arch, really, not really a closed door of any kind. And as you're all walking, because this is more towards the end of the hallway, could everyone please give me a listen check as the storm is flaring up outside?
Right.
Just tell me if you succeed and to what level.
I succeed by the hair of my teeth.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Burning 2 luck to succeed at the hair of my teeth.
Great. So, couple different things. People hear different things. Scarlet, since you're more, you and Cecile were more towards the back as the other two took off first. You hear a thump, like a something by the door, actually.
The front door or the door
The
passing?
front door. Like something wood, something maybe even wood against wood. It's hard to tell. Dr. Beatrice is still just, because I think that's a fail for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Dr. Beatrice is still just kind of making her way into this archway. You, Randy, hear a thump, but not from the door, from right above you, kind of up the stairs, like a thump.
Hmm.
And you start to actually, since you're already looking up, you don't need to roll for this, a dark patch on the ceiling above.
I spin around to look at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would everyone like to do? Scarlet, what you doing?
Oh, I'm torn. I'm gonna look back, and Beatrice seems to still be heading inward, and I think
Uh-huh.
that my concern for her is gonna. I mean, it's storming outside. That thumps. It's an old house. I mean, growing pains. So, I continue following Beatrice.
Great. Cecile, you also heard the thump, but at the thud rather at the door. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I sort of clean my ears. I'm used to working in a factory. I'm not used to hearing anything. I'll go check out the door, I guess.
Wait, how do you check it out?
Just sort of walk up to it, see if it's maybe it's just blowing in the wind.
Mm-hmm. So you're walking up to it. It seems sturdy. You like putting your hands on it, or
Oh yeah, I'll open it.
oh, it doesn't open though.
Oh. I'll try it again. Is it locked or?
Doesn't seem to be locked. Beatrice had the key. The knob turns. You want to make a strength check?
I mean, I could do a strength check. I'll try a strength check at first. Eh. Oh, I fumbled it.
Oh no. So when someone fumbles something in Call of Cthulhu, bad things happen. So as you kind of shove into it, you feel like you shove so hard, but this thing is so strong that your arm, like in your shoulder, you hear kind of pop. And you take 2 points of damage, which in Call of Cthulhu is terrible. It's just all bad. Any hit point loss is terrible. Oh, you're pretty hardy. That's good.
Okay, yeah, whoops. I should have used the lever. You know, once you got a fulcrum, the world's your oyster.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, I think I hurt my arm.
I'm going to cut over to Randy.
Yeah. Who's gonna rush over to help Cecil for sure?
Okay.
Be like, all right, what did you do?
What
Oh,
the-
jeez.
The door was stuck. I tried to shove it and my shoulder popped.
Ow.
Why did you try to? Come on. And can I declare I have some sort of tool to help us here? Like a crowbar of sorts, or no?
Oh, I mean, you're street punk Randy, sure.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hashtag
See?
Street Punk Randy.
Yeah. Right. Perfect. Okay. So then, like, that's all right. Well, I can't do anything about your arm. I'm sorry, but all right. Let me see what we can do about this door. I'm gonna try to pry it open.
Okay. You can make a
Stand back
strength
now,
check.
Cecil.
Yeah, see what you're doing there though, using technology. I see you.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Hard.
a hard success.
Physics.
Okay. So what happens with a hard success? You manage to like jimmy the crowbar like through the center of the doors kind of.
Yeah.
And it starts, you can shove it a bit, but and you can see you got it a bit open. More than you definitely would have been able to do without that. And you can see like it's almost like it's being those outcroppings that were on the front of it seem to have like a beam in place.
Oh.
And since you can see outside, I'll make a spot hidden just for more information of like what you can see through the cracks since you got it open.
Oh my god, I passed.
Noise. In the flash of lightning, there seems to be on the street a figure. Lights it up, but it's very dark. The outline of it seems to be human.
What does that mean?
It's bipedal. It's bipedal with what looks like 2 arms and 2 legs and a head.
Well, I mean, I have never seen anything that's not human, like that's a human. So I would absolutely assume a human.
Great.
Fascinating that it's bipedal and has 2 legs.
Yeah. Well, cool. I'll probably go. I'll stare at the window a little longer, even though it's flash, because I'm trying to like look in the darkness with like a futility to it. But I definitely am going to say Cecil to Cecil and let them know that what I saw. I'm like, were we followed?
Followed? Well, I mean, I wasn't looking to see if we were tailed or anything. Why? What have you been doing? Why would someone be following you now?
Shh. Hold on. And I don't know. I thought I saw some. I thought I saw someone outside.
Well, I mean, it's just a house. People are allowed to be outside.
Be neighbors.
Yeah, but I don't know. There was something weird about him. I don't know. I got a bad feeling about it.
You feeling okay, Randy?
I'm feeling better than your shoulder, I reckon, but not. I don't know. That was weird. I'm like looking at the crowbar and put it away and back down. I was like, I don't know. That's just weird. All right, it was really weird. I can't explain it.
Meanwhile, Dr. Beatrice.
Yes.
As you have passed by this open door frame, it seems to be a kitchen. There's several weird things about this kitchen. Okay, so on the walls there are crucifixes everywhere. None are like upside down or anything. They're like crucifixes everywhere. And there are more weird things. I mean, you can smell like rotting food, but there's one thing in particular that catches your eye because it is a blue icinged cake in the middle of the kitchen table that is you can definitely tell it's old as hell. But looking at this, I need you to make me another power check. Ooh, yeah.
Yes, that's
easy
half,
peasy.
under half.
Yeah, nice. At first, you thought it looked old, and then you blinked, and you're like, no, that's a perfectly good cake. And you almost feel the impulse to kind of go towards it. You start to get a little rumble in your tummy, much as I have right now. But as you get closer, it even says, for a brief second, you think it says, "Happy birthday, Beatrice." And that's what's on top of it. But the icing that you thought for just a second, the thing that you thought was icing for just a second, as you get closer and you kind of shake your head, those look like maggots.
Oh, man. All right. And it's just Scarlett and myself now?
Yeah, I followed her in there.
Yeah, Cecile and Randy are still, I think they're heading back towards you.
Sure. This migraine is giving me just the devil of a time here, my dear. Are you hearing anything other than the storm in our voices or anything unexplained or seen weird?
Well, the house, it kind of sounded like maybe something blew off outside in the storm, but other than that, I haven't noticed anything. I mean, it's quite an old place. This room is strange, but
It is a lot of religious iconography for food preparation area. Have you
yes.
anything odd about this cake? You do see a cake, yes?
Do I see a cake?
Yep.
Great, maggots.
Maggots.
Ugh, yeah, I mean, the thing is ancient, disgusting, and ugh.
The two of you hear another from right above you. There is another door in here as you're in here that seems to have several bolts on it. And all of you can catch up with each other if you'd like.
I suppose this door is as good of another, and it might be the basement, based on what we've heard. So I say, as was mentioned earlier, we should be a good place to start, if it's so.
Yeah, getting down to the basement seems like a good idea. I imagine all of the workings of this place are down there anyway.
Yes, there'd be much for you to do down there, hopefully. Well, hopefully not, but you catch my meaning. And she's fumbling with the.
Mm-hmm. You do see Cecile. You do see the fuse box here.
Ah, perfect. Let's have a look.
Oh, nice.
All right. Yeah, especially because it would be good. This is an apropos moment. Do you have something to roll? Is it like mechanical repair, electrical repair, something like that?
I have a low electrical repair, but I have a high science in engineering, so I'm likely
sure.
to be able to diagnose maybe. Ah,
Do you want to use luck?
possibly. How much luck do I have? Like, oh yeah, sod it. Yeah, let's use some luck. Let's use some luck.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you were able, just looking at it briefly. Nothing is wrong with it.
Say this all looks okay. I don't know why things. Maybe there's some faulty connections.
And then the lights go out.
Must be the generator.
The storm can't be good for it either.
From above.
All right. Did anyone see any candles or anything like that?
Usually people leave a torch on top of the fuse box.
There it is.
Good grief, it sounds like the house is falling apart.
Batteries, is it on?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look for the generator.
And then all of you hear a crash of glass.
What did you guys do?
All right.
Can we tell?
We're all here. What do you mean what did we do?
Is it from in this room or?
No, it sounded like above us, right?
The glass sounded like it was from above you.
Oh, okay. I rescind my statement. What was that?
Was it like a shattering?
Yeah.
Blew into a window?
Guess that storm must really be kicking up.
It is.
Dr. Beatrice, you're messing with the bolts. They seem to, they're kind of stiff, but you can kind of pull them open. There's one, it does seem to be locked though, and you do not have a key for this.
Right. Is there perhaps somebody who could? I don't have there's no key for this lock here. Is there anybody who's maybe adept at?
Oh, I don't think any of us would be so low. And she points the torch at Randy.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be like, okay. All right, I'll go deal with this raccoon, and we're gonna go up. Yeah,
You wanna-
all right,
Where do you
totally.
wanna-
I'll see what
kinda-
that is. I'll see what it's all about.
Oh, upstairs?
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I mean, wherever
Okay.
the sound is, right? Like, I'm gonna
Yep,
go
the
direct.
sound was coming from upstairs.
Oh, hell yeah.
So the rest of you gonna work on the lock?
Do they need the light?
Yeah, we need the light. Don't take
yeah.
my light.
So we only have
but-
one light with two things, right?
Yeah. You can
Um,
find candles. It's not hard in the kitchen.
Right. Yeah, I'll totally take a candle.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Cool.
So we'll stay with Randy first.
Sure.
So
So there's storm going on outside.
Yeah.
Randy is holding a little candle, like Ebenezer Scrooge, and we're going to see what the ruckus is about.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Okay. So as you make your way upstairs, you can kind of pinpoint where it is as you go up the stairs. The stairs creak. I mean, this place, you're especially upstairs, you're surprised it's holding together.
Okay.
And going down the hall, you do see an open door, and there seems to be uh, lightning flashes coming through, which is weird because all the windows are boarded up. Like really boarded, not just like casual boarded. And if you go look inside, there's a room with a bed frame, a bare bed spring, and a dresser. Yeah,
But there's no sign of a window.
there is sign of a window.
But it's still boarded up, is what you're saying.
It is. There's one window that seems
Yeah.
to have like a split, not only in the glass but in some of the wood. Like it seems
Oh.
like it's cracked.
Right. So, well, is there, you said you were really good at describing the other ones as like being boarded up. This cracked one, is there any way I can look outside? Or is that?
Yeah, you can look outside.
Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna look outside and see what hit the window or like where or anything, right? By the way, is this facing the same direction as I saw something out there? Is this the same facing of the house?
It is not, but if you, depending on your angle, maybe you could see, because this is like on the side of the house, and the thing you saw was out front.
Right. Okay, this is outside. Okay,
you can
you're on the side of the house. No, I'm not particularly doing that. I was just wondering for my own curiosity. That's fine. Yeah, I'm totally gonna look out the window and see like what the hell, like if someone threw something there or like a bird hit it. You know what I mean? Or
yeah.
Like,
so then you could make me just to get because it's hard to see, and for other reasons.
Oh, definitely.
Make me a spot hidden.
Right. Spot hidden. It seems like spot hidden and psychology and history are real good skills in this game.
Sometimes. Depends on your style. Oh,
big old
dough.
fail.
Oh,
big old pile of fail.
Oh, dough, Eric. Oh, dough.
Yeah.
So you, as you're looking out, it's really hard to tell. I mean, it is a sizable crack. You see like the office building next door, but there's no window right there.
Sure.
And you're starting to get like the window is pretty low, about the same height as maybe like the bed. But it's hard to make out anything now. And you don't see anything that really would have been thumping is the other thing. So last thing, you can make a listen roll or a luck roll.
I'm better at listening. I'm a good listener. Extreme.
Ooh, okay, so
it's probably really good in a really bad way.
So as you're looking and you're kind of straining, you hear like shuffling across the floor, like scraping, like the scraping of metal. And you can look back, and the bed is moving, and it is moving fast, and it is moving at you. And I need you to make a dodge roll.
Sure. That's a thing.
Yeah, dodge is half your dex unless you put extra points into it.
Nope. Oh, but I pass. Holy shit, an extreme.
Eric.
What do I do?
Okay. So you're only gonna take it's not gonna be that bad. This bed with this the metal scrapes and the side of the bed, it seems to like whoosh across the room at you, and it like right where the window is, you can put together maybe that's what did it, because the bed is
it came from inside.
There's glass on the floor and the crack. Yeah. And it slams into you as you kind of go up against the window, and you think if you hadn't heard it moving, you may have gone for a little trip. But because you listened so damn well, you're gonna take not as much damage. You're gonna only take 1 point of damage, just where it like hit you in the side.
Oh hell yeah.
It and then the only other thing I need from you is a sanity check because the bed just moved by itself.
Fail.
Okay, and that's. Ooh, sorry. You.
That's okay.
3 points of sanity.
All right, so that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Not great. Not great at all. Yeah, I'm gonna probably call Holler up for some help.
Yeah. Meanwhile, downstairs, how are you guys trying to open the door?
I want to look for something in the kitchen, like a knife that would help us pry it off, pry the bolt off, or like something that would help us kind of wedge in there and
Yeah.
break it open.
Yeah. Easy enough to find. I mean, this place is all junky. It just has a lot of stuff in it, so you're able to do that. So,
Cool.
if you want to try and do that, I'll say you could either make a dex if you're like working like specifically on jimmying it, or a strength if you're trying to open it, and I'll give you like 20%, so you can roll higher than you have to. Oh yeah, with the 20% you make it.
Great.
You're able to like get it in there, shove it open, feel pretty good about yourself because that's cool. And as the door opens, a grotesque smell, again, sickly sweet, like rotting meat covered by flowers, wafts up. And Beatrice, you can make me a power check because this is fun.
Oh, that'll be under half.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Alrighty. So you guys just peer down into the dark. You guys have the torch. So if Cecile wants to shine that down, you see stairs heading downward at the same time as you hear Randy from upstairs.
I can go and see what he wants.
He's shouting like with duress, or is he just nonchalant?
Oh no, it's definitely a duress because I just got hit by a giant bed frame.
Yeah, then I'll be.
So
yes, let's.
Right.
Hope he's okay.
You guys.
Yeah, you hear me curse. You probably just hear me say a loud "damn it" or whatever. Right. I just got hit by a bed frame.
Yeah. Bed frames are terrible. Okay, so you all head up. You can see the open door at the end. You see Randy there. He seems to be kind of has his hands on his side. And yeah, you're all there.
What happened?
You okay?
To tell you the truth, I have no idea. Bed frame moved on its own.
What?
Damn near smushed me into that window.
You understand how strange that sounds.
Well, you do understand that there's a cracked window here and a giant ass bed frame, and you know that I didn't do this to myself, right?
What are you trying to pull here, Andy?
Fair enough.
What's your angle?
No angles here. I don't know. You tell me. Look at that. Investigate that bed frame. See what kind of technology is in that thing, because I know it doesn't move on its own. All right, and I know that I nearly just got thrown out a window by a bed frame. I know both of those things are true.
You're talking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, are you sure? I don't know. You tripped?
Yeah, see, Scarlett,
very
I would know if I tripped, and I think you would know too. I seen what a trip looks like, okay? I'm telling you, I'm like,
all I see is there's a bed frame, there's a cracked window, and you're kind of a mess.
Like, I'm like grabbing my shoulder because I nearly got pinned into a thing, right? It like grabbed a piece of my jacket or whatever, and I had to like pry it out and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Can you blame us for like being suspicious that a bed would move on its own?
No, that's not what. No, I'm just saying. Can you help me find whatever moved it? I'm saying some kind of technology thing. It's probably something with the weird electricity in this place. I don't know.
Cecile is going to take a deep, sigh, and look under the bed and look towards the end of the bed to see if there's any, like, I don't know, anything that could have arced. The only possible thing she can think of is if there's a loose wire or something and it created some sort of electrical discharge.
Does Randy need help up? Or is he?
You know, as a doctor on either of these guys, you can make a first aid check, Beatrice, if you're so inclined. And if you succeed, they'll get 1 hit point back, basically. Either like just helping to ease the bruise, or helping kind of. Oh, damn. Yeah. So yes, both Randy. I'll use it for both. Randy and Cecile both get a hit point back as Beatrice tends to you.
Cool. So it's probably like a lucky blow. Like it looked like it hit me, but it didn't. Maybe like that's kind of how I get healed. Is it's not so much you healed me, it's so much as you look it over, you're like, oh, you're fine, kind of thing.
It hurt worse than it was.
Yes. You say that you have no angles here, yet you're managing to be rather obtuse in that the bed hit you. There's no mechanism here. I think our young mechanic lady friend Cecil here can attest. I mean, there's no tracks or anything, or some sort of, I don't know how it would work.
Yeah, Cecile, you can make me a spot hidden or science engineering.
Definitely science engineering.
Yeah, sure. Okay. You have a thorough look at this. You see no gears. You see no track. You see nothing like that. You see no wiring. There is nothing in here that is even approaching this.
It's a wooden bed, wooden floor, wooden wall, metal bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you don't get any sense, like, if you had something on you that you could, like even if you had, like, just a casual magnet, like, there's nothing. Like, just, like, holding it out, like, nope.
Yeah, no, Randy, there's no way this bed could move. I'm checking it out. I'm checking it out like you asked me. It's just a bed.
I'm not saying you're crazy or anything. It is a very old house and there's quite a storm going on. Maybe it could seem like something happened that didn't.
Say, what was your connection with Gabriella?
And at that point, Randy and Beatrice, you hear your voices, your names whispered again inside of your head.
Power check?
Sure, since you asked for it, sure.
Nope.
Oh, no. Okay.
That makes sense, though, given the circumstances.
Yeah, you've just seen a bunch of shit, man.
Yeah, totally.
So, Beatrice, again, you get the sense of kind of the general direction, but you, Randy, you have a need. You have a strong desire. Not even. It's a need to find the source of this. This is all getting to be too much, and you're gonna find where it is. And you think you know where it is. Again, you sense the direction, which is the basement.
Right.
Because isn't it always?
Yeah. So, I'm gonna take the L here and realize I can't convince anybody about what I saw. Like, fine, you know what? It's me. I'm done making these things. How about we just go back to the basement?
You know what? It's probably the lights that have gone. They're messing with your mind. You're seeing things. But I am interested. I'll shine the torch in his face for a second. I am interested in what you got to do with this Gabriella and this crazy person at the sanatorium, though. And if you don't want to answer, she'll keep walking. But
okay, great. So as I assume everyone else is following.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll explain that we got the door open and, we're about to head down when we heard his cry and...
Mm-hmm. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So as you guys make your way down the stairs, it's really dark in here. You have the candle, you have the torch. The stairs feel very unsturdy. But Right. And kind of Randy, especially since you're the one heading down first, they seem to, as you get on them, they seem to move like similar to the bed. Like, and you, if you want to try, and it's not a terribly long fall, but if you want to try to maintain your balance on them, you just need to make a dex or a climb.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do dex to balance myself. Nope. Do I fall?
You do indeed. Right to the bottom of the stairs. So poor Randy.
Classic Randy.
Classic. Oh, but you only take 1 point of damage, which is fortunate.
Oh, I do one of those. Oh yeah, I do one of those awkward like slide, like stumble, stare down things,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, before finally falling, and so it looked worse than what it is again.
Mm-hmm.
Much like Randy, he looks worse than how he actually is.
Mm-hmm. And as the rest of you guys hear him fall and stumble.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm fine. No ghost things, I say.
So are you guys going down the stairs?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Same thing. As you actually put your feet on them, they start to move. He was a little ahead of you, so make dex checks.
I'm gonna use my nat 20 on this.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I have one of those as well. I should probably.
Did anybody?
I am going to spend the luck.
Great. Okay, so that's so everyone succeeds? Or are you using you're using one of your crits? Okay.
Yes.
You guys see Randy splayed out just in the nick of time. You guys kind of catch yourselves along the wall and manage to get off. Randy, as you're at the bottom of these stairs, you see lots of fun things. It's dark, so you have to hold up the light. But you see that symbol all around the basement walls, the 3 Ys with the eye in the middle. The other thing
That's not good.
no,
That's what I say. That's what I say in character. Like, that's not good.
You also see, though, kind of in more recent, like that symbol is all in red drawn, but there's another thing drawn and it's in white, and it seems like maybe chalk or something, where the other stuff seems like paint. And it's a drawing of it looks like maybe a knife, like a pocket knife.
Is this like finishing off the drawing? Can I look at it like a technical drawing again? See if I can position it in some way so that maybe it's not a knife, maybe it's like a cantilever or something.
Oh, sure. Do it.
Yeah, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching anything.
Oh shit!
Extreme success.
What you see, what you're able to put together is that all these symbols, like the not knife symbol, all seem very particularly placed around this room, but the drawing of the knife seems to be interrupting it. Like if it was a mathematical equation, the knife like messes it up.
Oh yeah, this white piece here, that's an anomaly. That doesn't belong in this equation at all. You see these other things? They're all part of the same thing. They still give me a little bit of a headache, but they're all geometric, and this thing is just a mess.
And from farther into the room, all of you hear.
Okay. I'm sure let's go and check that out. I'm sure that's just, a leaky pipe.
Yes,
A leaky pipe.
Yes.
Yep.
Pricky boards. Yeah.
Many
Nope.
things.
We gotta believe her. Are you guys gonna try to look for where the source is?
Yeah, I'm shining the torch that way.
Great, love it. On a table, there seems to be a figure, a humanoid figure, lying perfectly still. You'd have to get closer to get any more details.
I'll go closer. That looks like a person in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Great. So Scarlett and Cecile are heading in. Beatrice?
I'm. Does the knife? It looks like a pocket knife.
Yep.
Is it familiar at all to me in design?
Yes.
What? Okay.
Yes.
I'll be thinking about that as I walk
Great.
in, and kind of mumbling about it before I notice the figure,
Mhm.
and then.
All right.
Yeah.
So, at this point, as you two get closer, it's a body of a man, kind of in rags, but maybe once in a fine suit. It seems male. It seems emaciated, like leathery. Um, uh, but there's something strange about it. Like you're not quite. You guys can make a spot hidden if you'd like more information. Although, again, it's like you need to be close.
Okay, and I'll kind of lean into Cecile and say, "Is he dead?"
I don't know. Do you think that was him making the sound?
I don't know.
That's a oh good. That's a fail for Cecile. Okay. So this is so Beatrice is getting closer. Randy is not, I assume.
I'm not. Yeah, no. I'm deliberately not spotting and
Yeah.
hitting.
Yeah.
I'm still there, but I'm just not doing
Yeah, totally. It's all part of the same chamber. So as Cecile is getting closer, she's a curious girl. She's putting stuff together. She gets like close and is trying to like get as much detail as she can. Scarlett, at the last second, you as Cecile's almost like looking down and at the other end of the body, but you're looking at the face, and you see a grin pop up onto the body as in your head, Cecile, you hear, "That was a mistake." And this body sits up right next to you. So
Okay.
now we're in a brief bit of initiative. So the order is by deck. So we've got Cecile, Scarlett and Randy, Beatrice, and then this figure.
Hang on. I'm the highest dex. What are you guys doing?
I'm an actress.
Yes, damn straight you are. Okay, so the first thing that Corbett, it's Corbett. Corbett is just sitting up. He acts last. Cecile, what do you want to do? You are right next to him.
I'm gonna see if he's okay, I guess. I'm like, hey, he's sitting up. Doctor, get over here. What's wrong with this guy?
Okay. Scarlett and Randy, are you doing anything?
Yeah, I mean, this body just sat up and like
Punch it in the mouth.
Oh, that's a patient.
Yep. Oh, well, it's going back down on the table.
Oh my gosh, are you okay?
Like-
and then he punches him in the face, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, I'm totally startled. And you're like, don't sneak up on me like that. Like, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that in this house. I'm sorry. I just
So-
freak out.
Randy, you run forward and punch him in the face?
Yeah. Like
Amazing.
I'm startled. I'm startled, and I'm just like, and it stands up. I'm like, no, and just like knock it down.
Roll me a
Right.
fighting brawl.
Totally. Success.
Oh, nice. Okay, you can roll your damage. I think it should be auto on the sheet.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that did. Oh yeah, if you roll the unarmed.
Oh, it doesn't attack. Got
So
it.
we'll take the first number, but I'll take the higher of the damage. As you sock him in the face enough where like the jaw kind of unhinges, but then it goes back into place.
Ah!
Scarlett doing anything else?
I was going to I was going to try and help this person, and now I'm mortified, so I think I'm gonna follow suit, and I still have whatever utensil I used to pry the door open, and I'm just gonna stab out with it.
Sure. You can make me an unarmed attack. Or
Okay.
you can roll fighting brawl if unarmed isn't on your sheet.
What is wrong with
Yeah.
you guys? You see an old man in a basement, he sits up and you stab him to death?
This is
Or-
terrifying.
You reach out with it. And the weird thing is that you actually think that you got him, but you see no mark on him.
Okay.
Like nothing even moved. And he's just kind of sitting up, and his head turns at an unnatural angle, and the grin grows wider.
Okay.
Beatrice, what's up, girl?
So it's perfectly clear he is not a normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
even to me at this point.
yeah.
I'm going to fumble for my grandfather's pocket knife that I have on me,
Okay.
mumbling about how the devil will be worsted by his own weapon. Not
Cool.
sure. Yes. I don't know if I can. She probably wouldn't be prepared to stab at this point in time,
Mm-hmm.
but she would definitely have it out and ready, if nothing else.
Great. So, now that we're at kind of the end of you guys. Now I need you all to make sanity checks.
Okay.
Probably should have done that earlier, but hey.
Oh boy.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Big old fail.
Hey,
I'm good at sanity.
you're super good at sanity. Okay.
You're just very grounded. Like, you've seen some shit as an actress. Like,
It's the only thing I'm good at.
yeah.
I'm
Oh
very
no!
willful.
Okay, so that's 5 points for everybody who failed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That does the thing.
Yep, that does the thing. So it's and it's 1 point anyway for you, Scarlet, but it's
Okay.
not the 5.
Right.
So anyone who failed, what happens is there's a moment where it doesn't look like this emaciated corpse anymore. It looks like a perfectly normal man, a friendly man, kind of has the same frizzy hair that Beatrice does. And he holds open his arms, and all of you feel very comforted by him and even drawn to him. He just seems like a comforting presence. Scarlet, I think, are you the only one that passed?
Yes.
Okay, so you see the same thing, and you see all of them kind of lower their hands a bit and seem to be kind of dazed.
What is happening?
But that's not the end of Walter Corbett's turn.
Ah.
Beatrice, I need you to make a power check, and I'm gonna roll against you.
You have 2 nat 20s and an advantage.
Oh shit! Damn, I should use that.
I believe the bed
Well,
moved now.
I think I'll say I rolled anyway, but just take one of them off. Just take one of them off. I'll say I used one, even though I rolled a hard success for him. So it's fine. The knife leaves your hand. It grows warm. It floats in the air. As you were holding it kind of out at him, it spins and spins and spins. And for the last action of his turn, I'm going to roll a d4. Scrat is 1, Natalie is 2, Renee is 3, Eric is 4.
You know it's going to be a 4. You know it's going to be Randy.
No, it's Cecile. So I will use why not? I have one.
Yeah.
I use a crit with this knife as it plunges into the very nearby body of Cecile. It shoots out of Beatrice's hand into Cecile's body.
Oh.
How many hit points you at?
11.
Okay. Well, it's possible. The thing is that anything is possible if you believe. Do you believe, Scrat?
I'm believing right now, I guess.
Okay.
There's some weird magnet shit going on down here.
It's definitely magnets. It's always magnets. It's something that we should remember. So that does. Oh God. Okay. This is gonna be terrible. It's gonna be just bad. I'm just trying to look for the exact right thing because I don't want to do. Okay, there it is. Anyway. Okay, that was an extreme. So that's. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Everybody prepare yourselves. It might be fine. It might be fine. Oh, it does 9 points of damage as it plunges not directly into your heart, but slightly above into like around your clavicle, and blood begins to spurt out.
Oh. Am I staying conscious? Am I fainting? What's going?
Oh no, because that's more than your hit points. So I need you to roll me a Constitution roll.
It was less than my hit points, wasn't it? 9.
It's more than half your hit points. Sorry.
Ah, I see. Constitution.
I forget that rule sometimes. Yeah. Okay, you stay awake. You can. Yep, you can see it. Back to the top of the order. Cecile, I'm gonna say with that. Oh no, you went temporarily insane. But with being stabbed, you are out of your stupor.
Oh,
I think that's fair. Would you like to do anything?
perhaps remove the knife.
Okay. Make a medicine or first aid roll.
Neither of those. Oh, first aid's not too bad. Oh, it's terrible.
So since it wasn't
It's horrible.
it wasn't a fumble, fortunately, you start to pry it out a bit, but you're not able to this round. Scarlet, you are not in a stupor. What do you want to do?
I am going to. Gosh, I think I'm gonna try and push the table over.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just kind of freaking out a little bit. What would I roll for that?
You can roll a strength check.
Okay. Okay.
Nice. So yeah, you shove the table over, and yeah, I'll say that that does a little bit. So you shove it over, and Corbett does seem kind of like he's lost his maybe connection a bit.
Yeah, I just want to get him away from my people.
Yeah, you shoved him over. He seems you can't really see him. The table's pretty big, but Randy, now you pop out of your stupor. He doesn't seem to be having this effect now that he's out of your eyesight, like directly.
So what will happen if I go after them again and bring them into my eyesight? I know.
It seemed to be more,
do it.
yeah, you don't know.
Yeah. I guess I'm sorry. The better question would have been, I do this. What happens? Because I'm totally doing it. I'm sorry. That's
That's fine. That's fine. Would you like to do anything when you pass behind the table?
Yeah, I'm gonna punch it again in the face.
Do it. Get it. Don't look at me.
Right. And now that I know that when you roll your unarmed attack, it does the fighting skill for you, I'm just gonna roll that. 70. Got it.
Fantastic.
Success
Okay.
For 5.
You get him kind of in the nose this time. It like cracks off and then back in place. It seemed a little slower this time, and you don't feel back under this weird delusion.
Well, that's good because I'm gonna keep punching it.
Yep. Cool. Beatrice, you are not under the delusion either. You do see the knife and where it is. You could try to help, or you could try to take it and do something with it.
Like a pained squeal and rush over, mumbling both about not doing any harm and how it wasn't her. It came from her hand, but it wasn't her. And also, the devil's own weapon. This knife is the devil's own weapon, and then she's giving first aid.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a first aid check. You can do it. Oh no.
It's in the bone.
Would you? What I'll say is this. You could use it. You can either take it out and do whatever you want with it, and that you wouldn't be able to apply first aid, or you could leave it in and try to do something else. Oh, I can't hear you.
I'm going to leave it in.
Okay.
And say if we need compressed, just mumbling. We need to get the knife needs to be out, but we need to stop the bleeding. Please be okay. So yeah.
All right. Now I need you to make a power check. Well, no, you don't. Okay. I think because I'm a terrible person. I'll use my last crit, and it is going to actually fly out of you. You lose one more hit point.
I'm bordering on death.
Yep. And it turns and faces Beatrice.
Uh-oh.
And now I'll use my advantage to roll something. Oh, I'm sorry. What was it? A D4 plus 8? 9 points of damage. Where are you at? Oh, I can't hear you, and I'm in a lot of suspense. What are you at?
6 total.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
okay.
You healthy.
Yeah. So, since that's only one part of Walter Corbett's fun times, the body from behind the table stands after it's been punched. It leers at you, Randy, and it makes its way over to Beatrice. Sorry. No, I think it's shorted. Yeah, you might have to disconnect and reconnect. But Walter kind of slinks his way over to you guys, to where Beatrice is standing next to Cecile. Also kind of smiles with rotting teeth over at Cecile. You can see like maggots crawling through them. And he kind of reaches his hand out to Beatrice and like takes her takes her face in his hand, and then twists the knife, and Beatrice expires.
Oh, my friend!
And so too does this shambling corpse. It drops to the ground. It turns to dust.
What?
I think I have gone like sheet white, and I look at Randy and say, I believe that the bed moved now.
I just faint, okay? I'm just fainting. I'm
Yeah.
checking out, okay?
Feel faints.
So smash cut to morning. This place is completely burnt down. Weird. And we're all outside.
Definitely you can burn it. But as Cecile faints, Beatrice opens her eyes.
Beatrice? I'm like torn between the two people on the ground right now. I think I'm gonna go to Beatrice because I know her a little bit better.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cecile. Love ya.
Hey, yeah, she sits up. And sorry, it's doing it again, Natalie.
Please don't punch me.
There you are.
what happened? The beast was coming toward me, and then what's Cecile, the poor young lady? Is she okay?
Are you okay?
We need to. No, I'm not. We need to get out, quickly and get into the
Cecile?
hospital.
Cecile looks very dead.
That's why we need to move with haste and get her out to the
She's-
hospital.
Yeah, she's fainted, but Beatrice, if you want, you can pick her up and go.
Absolutely. Just
Great. So Beatrice scoops her up. Do you guys make your way out?
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely.
As we're going to fade out, having witnessed all of this, the last thing, if there were a camera, which of course there isn't, but if there were, the last thing is as Beatrice places her maybe into a cab or the back of an ambulance, the rest of you are kind of looking over Cecile. Beatrice kind of moves her frizzled hair back, and a new tattoo is there. 3 Ys with an I in the middle. And that's where we'll wrap things up. It's beautiful.
You.
Dun dun dun.
Yay!
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Yeah, I'm dead. I know it. I know it in my heart of hearts.
Almost. I
She
almost got
died en route to the hospital.
Well, that was absolutely amazing. Guys, let's go round. Let's hear what you guys thought about it, what your favorite part was, and then where we can find you online and all the wonderful things that you do. And you can put links in chat. This time we'll start at the bottom of the screen and work our way up. So we will start with Renee.
Hi, hello, I'm Renee. I love being here, and I think it's been about a month since I've played. So I'm thrilled to be back with Scrat on this channel, and I had a great time. And oh my gosh, I really liked this game. It was a great experience for me. And I say great experience knowing full well that that wasn't like a great experience.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part was the maggoty cake because I found that very funny for some reason. So thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for running through Call of Cthulhu for my first time. And then I can be found on Twitter at RayDeanneR. I'm also the DM for the Fate and the Fable Maidens podcast, which is an all-women actual play podcast. And that can be found at Fate FM Cast on all social media and is on iTunes, Google Play, and more. So I'm going to send links to that in the chat. So thanks, y'all.
Awesome, thank you. Next up the screen we have Natalie. Natalie, same questions.
Yeah. Well, I had a great time. I hadn't had the time with all the fantastic shows that are out there to check out this channel yet. And I specifically didn't do it when I knew that I was going to play because I thought that would be kind of fun to come to it with no with no information as a fun way to do it. But I'm going to dive into the back catalog because this was fantastic role play, and it's all that's all I ever want when I sit down to play. My favorite moment, I guess, would probably be actually dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always tell a good role player. My favorite bit was the worst bit. How about where we can find you online? Oh, your sound's gone again.
Natalie _Bliss on Twitter. And also darkaardvartgaming.com. Not a whole lot of stuff there yet, some background and information, but hoping to get more up there soon, including some characters that I'm making for my Mutants and Masterminds game that I run. And first character's non-binary and a lot of fun to interject in. So I'm looking forward to getting it out there and seeing how people react.
Sounds awesome. Sounds absolutely awesome. I look forward to seeing it. And next up the screen we have Eric Vulgaris.
Yeah. Thank you, Scrat. Thank you, everyone, for this amazing game. Lauren, thanks for running and happy birthday. I'm Eric. I'm Eric Fulgaris and everything. And if you don't know me, I do all of the things. I like to do graphic art for D&D streams and all that kind of stuff. I do different commissions. You can see that all over the internet, different places. I'm a business analyst for Roll20 because I fucking love that platform. I'm so excited to help them grow and do things because I love that, and that's what we're using today. I am also part-time streamer. I do a lot of random role-playing games. If you want to learn weird games like Kingdom or Downfall or Fall of Magic or Quiet Year or any games like that, that is what I do. I love all of those weird indie crazy games. I'm just all of them. I'm also a designer.
I played Kingdom last week and loved it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, one of my favorite games ever is Kingdom.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So I've been running a one-shot show called Once Upon a Game for like 3 years now, where I just feature all that kind of stuff. So really good for like demoing and learning how to learn games. And then what else? But you know what? I'm done kind of plugging myself there because I want to talk about this really cool podcast called Fate of the Fable Maidens, which is a family-friendly, all-women D&D actual play podcast by 4 friends who love goofs and dragons. Isn't that so cool, everybody? You should totally follow them on fatefm.cast and subscribe to them in whichever preferred podcast platform.
Thank you.
Perfect. Last but not least, Lauren, the birthday girl herself, thank you so much for running this today.
Thank you for having me. That was really fun. It was my first time running Call of Cthulhu, and y'all were all so great. It was this super, super fun group to be keeper for. Where you can find me on the internet is on Twitter at @ThatSaltyGinger. I play lots of games. Birthday celebrations, I think, will be continuing tonight. I play in a high-level D&D 5e campaign on the Greyhawk channel with Greg, who is our DM, and super fun. We're fighting an ancient red dragon, a souped-up ancient red dragon, and it's super, super fun. Kind of Arthurian themed. And then on Sundays, of course, I have Project Athena, Call of Cthulhu, my favorite thing to do. And that's at 7 Eastern over on Greg's channel, Grimjack21502. And it's the best. We punch Nazis, favorite pastime. And we take showers with people. That's also part of it. So you got a good range of things. And then on Mondays, I'm over on Encounter Roleplay, playing some D&D 5e. And that's at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's me. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll just run through my stuff quickly. My favorite part of this today was the interactions between Randy and Cerise. I thought that was Cecile. Sorry, I thought that was really cool. And I have plug things too. So there's my Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. Discord for the family fun. Twitter for the getting a game if you want one. Send me a DM, and YouTube to catch up. There is my Patreon link if you fancy giving us some support, and there is my merchandise as well. Lord Conti just bought some stuff today, so I look forward to seeing that. This is game 5 of 10 for me this weekend. We're back for game 6 of 10 in about 55 minutes. So in the meantime, I'm going to take you over to Grimjack's channel where he is running some Pop Cthulhu or something like that, I think.
Yep, Pop Cthulhu.
So we're going to go over there. I do D&D every single day. I don't stop. Especially when Alice is away. I haven't given myself a day off between when Alice left to when she comes back. So I'm doing like 4 games a day when I can. Yeah, so get that timeout going down there. Hey, so thank you so much again, you guys. I really enjoyed that. Lauren, first time as keeper. Stellar job. Absolutely loved it. I was thoroughly creeped out. Yeah, I think that's me. Thank you so much for coming along, you guys. Remember to keep evoking emotions, and we'll see you next time. Bye.